Now, let's have a look at some recent purchases that we've done. So we got this for a client in Ryde. So it's actually the Ryde LGA. It's not Ryde specifically. This is a well-maintained two-bedroom unit. It's situated at the rear of a secure low-rise complex. There's only 8 units in the total of this dwelling. So that offers privacy and tranquility. If you're buying a unit for an investment purpose, folks, this is where it's at. No amenities, okay? No pool, no gymnasium, no elevator, no basement car park, just bricks. That's what you want, something that's going to have the lowest maintenance possible. Now, this property, I think this is an absolute steal. And my boy Joe that purchased this for the client should be absolutely wrapped. So even though, we bought this for an owner-occupier, let's take a look at the numbers. So a lot of people have dismissed units as investments for a long time, and the Australian media has done a great job of making you think units are the worst investment ever. But let's actually examine the numbers. So the average unit price in this area is $684,000. Don't worry, we got this for much lower than that price. As I said, Joseph did a great job with his negotiation. But also, I want you to have a look here at the 12-month change. So I've got houses and I've got units. This is the same suburb, okay? The data on the same suburb. Houses are worth $2,319,000. Units are worth $684,000. That's the average. Look at the 12-month performance there, okay? Look at that here. You've got 12-month performance. Houses have lost $31,000 in the last 12 months. Units have gained $44,000 in the last 12 months. Why? Why is that? Well, people are starting to realize that there's value in units. They're also realizing that why would I continue buying further and further away from where I want to be? Because everyone tells me, oh, you don't want a unit, you want to buy a house. But I also don't want to be in that suburb that's another 30, 40 kilometers away from everything I know. So I'm starting to compromise. And at least I don't throw away everything I've grown up to know. And instead, I'm keeping the things that are familiar to me. And that's why units are going to become a hot ticket item over the next couple decades. I guarantee it. Just like they are in every major capital city around the country. Let's have a look at the inside. The inside's actually quite nice. It's a solid build, very homely. However, there's plenty of potential for internal renovations and some modernization, but it is very nice. This is the living area and the kitchen area, which you'd see there, and the dining side. It's got an expected rental income of $600 per week. Now that's 5.4% gross yield, which is above the average Sydney unit, which is at 4.2%. So to get 5.4 over 4.2 is a massive win for our client. The balcony's nice. The train station's less than 300 meters away, with a new shopping precinct opening up just a short walk away. Now, let's have a look at the numbers here. It's 17 kilometers west of Sydney CBD. We got it for $575,000. I was actually quite jealous of this purchase. It's like working in a candy store when you're working at a buyer's agency. You see all these properties, you're like, oh, I wish I could buy that. I wish I could buy that. $575, great price that Joseph got this for. $600 rent per week would give you 5.4% rental yield. We love it because it's a classic case of buying for potential. It fits the brief. Strategic renovations would definitely change this quite significantly, but it's perfect for the client who's currently wanting to live in it for the next 5 years before he upgrades. This is Melbourne, so our expert buyer's agent, Ben, secured this fully renovated property in Melbourne's west, approximately 7.5 kilometres from the CBD. It's situated in a quiet cul-de-sac with no neighbours on one side, just a beautiful park. It's really a great buy, this one. I mean, look at that. The house sits on a 446 square metre block. It's deceivingly large, actually, when you look at it. And you can see the park that borders one side of the fence there. It's completely renovated, so really nice internals, ducted air conditioning, downlights, floorboards, everything. Really nicely done. No one's actually lived in it since the house undertook extensive renovations, which definitely does help the client because they can claim that depreciation. Fixtures and finishings are all top quality, and I love the bifold doors to the deck. They're expensive, they're nice. I've got some at my place. They're really beautiful. Now, the rear deck, it's quite spacious and perfect for entertaining. The garage at the rear has its own plumbing, water and sewerage system. So that could actually be transformed into a granny flat in the future. So there's some potential there as well. Again, why do we love this? 7.5K from the CBD, $1.3 million purchase price, lots of value for money here, $750 per week or 3% gross rental yield. Melbourne is notoriously known for its lower rental yields. I know it's above average in regards to the 3.5 that we typically see, but trust me, when you look at Melbourne prices, typically the rental yields are a little bit lower. But if you can weather the storm for the next year or two, I'm telling you, there's going to be significant capital growth, and you're not going to worry about those extra $1,000 it might have cost you over those few years. So good land size, great suburb, low maintenance, depreciation benefits. It's going to attract an above average yield, and it's ripe for capital growth. Yes, I know this picture is terrible, and that's because this home was built 11 years ago in 2014 for owner-occupiers, and my Perth team snatched it off the market before the selling agent was even able to get photos done. So this is a Google Earth, this is a Google Street image. My team is very quick. I believe legendary NASCAR driver Ricky Bobby once said, "If you ain't first, you're last." And that's the only speed that my Perth team knows. So good on them. They did a great job with this, and I'll show you how great a job they did. All right, so if we have a quick look at the numbers here and why we love it, it's 25 k's north of Perth CBD. I actually own a property in this suburb. I'm not going to tell you which one it is. If you watch a few of our previous videos, I do mention that and the suburb name. Purchase price was $725,000. It was under market value. I grabbed a valuation estimate from CoreLogic, and if anybody knows CoreLogic and has seen the system, or has anybody that has the system, they'll tell you that CoreLogic underquotes all the time. So to see that this is at 740, and that probably being an underquote, getting this at 725 for our client, we know there's great value there. Rental estimate between 740 and 780, about 4.9% gross rental yield, which is again a fantastic rental yield. It's young, it's a standalone home, 480 square meter block, purchased below the median house price at 751. Great job, team. Okay, my boy Tyson got this. He was able to secure this great value house on a huge 650 square meter block just under 20 kilometers north of Brisbane CBD. This is actually my favorite one that we bought that month. I'll show you why. It's a classic Queenslander, and I've never loved the Queenslander style, just my own personal preference. It's never been something I've gone, oh, I really like that design. But I've got to tell you, it's a classic Queenslander design that's been tastefully modernised. So we've got like pendant lights, they've updated the floorboards, they've got glass balustrades all around, that's both internally and outside. They've redone the balcony here. You can see the flooring's been redone. Balustrades are all glass, a lot more natural light here. Just really done a really good job. Even the doors to go outside, they've updated. The rear elevated deck is large. It's great for entertaining. I actually really love this. They've updated it with downlights and everything too, so it's quite beautiful. The backyard is massive, and it's got a huge garage/shed in the back. One of the things that I think is pretty cool, like I'm not a golfing enthusiast, but even I could see myself practicing some putting on my own personal putting green with 3 holes in it. I think it's pretty cool, okay? So it's 18 k's north of Brisbane CBD. The purchase price was $1.1 million. I mean, that's just great value for money, isn't it? $785 per week is the estimated rental yield, about 3.7%. Great value for money. Land, land, land. Owner-occupier appeal with development potential. Neighbouring, more expensive suburbs right next door. Just a great buy. So thank you so much for taking the time to have a listen to us today. Remember, we can't help you until you commit, but once you commit, we won't let you fail. We're bringing 2 things together here: your desire to build wealth and our 18 years of experience of buying property. So for more than 3 decades, Providence have placed Australians into the right properties all over the country. We buy unique quality assets in areas where demand outpaces supply. We focus on properties that have owner-occupier appeal, which is much larger than the investor appeal of only about 30% buyers being investors and 70% being owner-occupiers. We buy in the right capital city at the right time, guided by the economic property cycle. If you want to know more about the cycle or where we are today, jump on our YouTube channel and you'll see plenty of videos on that. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, give us a call. Have a great day.